Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal adjourns pre-trial hearing in petition by the PDP and its candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to July the 1st on the request of the petitioners. EFCC rearraigns former Minister of State for the FCT, Jumoke Akinjide, and two other leaders of the People's Democratic Party over alleged 650 million naira money laundering. Troops of one division Nigerian Army kill 61 suspected armed bandits, arrest others in separate operations launched in Kaduna, Kano and Niger states. And US Senate passes its own border aid bill after rejecting the version approved by the House of Representatives following outrage over photos of a drowned migrant father and daughter. For more information on our top stories, please visit our website, channelstv.com. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and please follow the instructions. Outside Nigeria now, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has met with his American counterpart, Mr. Mike Pence, at the White House. The two vice presidents discussed how Nigeria and the U.S. can deepen relationships, especially in the areas of economy and military assistance. Vice President Pence described Professor Osinbajo as a reputable leader, saying his reputation precedes him. Professor Osinbajo had earlier met in private with the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed at the UN headquarters. He also met with the Council on Foreign Relations, where he explained that the major focus of the federal government is working closely with countries like the United States and the United Kingdom to ensure that ISIS does not find a base in West Africa. We move on now, and troops of one mechanized division, Kaduna, of the Nigerian Army have killed 24 suspected armed bandits and arrested 61 others during an operation in Kaduna, Kano and Niger states. The general officer commanding the division, Major General Farouk Yahaya, made this known during a press briefing at the headquarters of the division on Wednesday in Kaduna. General Yahaya says the troops carried out separate operations in the division's area of responsibility, during which 20 victims were rescued and reunited with their families.
About 61 were neutralized, assorted arms recovered about 56, all types, motorcycles arrested, because you know most of the times these criminals use motorcycles so that they can go to areas that are not accessible by troops most of the times. 24 of that were arrested and recovered. Lost cows and other animals, over 374 were also recovered. Even monies were recovered, over 1,195,000 naira were recovered. And even fake United States dollars were also recovered from some of these suspects. When our operations continue to record successes, we wish to call on individuals to avail the troops with credible and timely information instead of only reporting when the bandits and criminals have inflicted their victims and fled.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has asked the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court to designate judges to conduct monthly inspections of detention facilities of agencies of the federal government. In a letter addressed to Justice Adamu Abdulkafarati and made available to Channels Television, the human rights lawyer cites the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which has made copious provisions for ending the illegal detention of criminal suspects and political detainees in the country. According to Mr. Falana, the chief judges of the Federal Capital Territory and the 36 states of the Federation have complied with the CJN's directive to conduct monthly inspections of all police stations and other detention facilities of the federal government's agencies. But for some undisclosed reasons, the chief judge of the Federal High Court is yet to comply with the directive. Mr. Falana noted that some agencies of the federal government authorized to make arrests have continued to detain thousands of persons without trial. He particularly wants the designate judges of the Federal High Court to urgently visit the detention facilities of the Nigerian Navy. Mr. Falana has threatened to file a suit at the Federal High Court to compel Justice Abdul Kafarati to carry out his duty if this request is not granted within 7 days. Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Makwe Ogun Yusuf. Hey, Makwe.
Hello, Ijoma. It's good to see you. The Independent National Electoral Commission is working to deliver improved elections in the country through building the capacity of the electoral officers. That's according to the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who was speaking in Abuja at the second review meeting with electoral officers from the 18th state. While applauding the contribution of the electoral officers in the conduct of elections, Professor Yakubu hopes the nation can benefit from the experience of some of them who have been exposed to electoral processes in other parts of the world.
We tried to build the capacity of the EOs. We tried also, within the limits of available resources, to give you the necessary exposure for your work. I was very, very happy when, as part of the Commission's deliberate plan, we involved the EOs in foreign election observation. So given the size of the voter population, given the size of the country, one can very conveniently say, if you look at what happened in our elections, taking the period 1999 to date, I have no doubt in my mind that INEC is the most improved public service institution in Nigeria today. However, we will never rest on the understanding that we have done very well and we are doing very well. We are convinced that we can do more. And therefore, the purpose of this interactive meeting is for us to explore ways and means by which we can improve the system even more.
From the electoral umpire to the legislature, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Ahmed Wase, has asked the National Assembly Workers' Union to embrace dialogue and work towards a peaceful resolution of thorny issues. Mr. Wase made this appeal while meeting with the leadership of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria at the National Assembly. He assured them of cooperation towards fostering productivity and ensuring the right atmosphere in the Assembly, while also promising that the welfare of staff will be a priority.
We expect cooperation from your own side so that together we move the country forward. Members cannot operate very well if the staffs who are supposed to be supporting do not have the enabling environment. So I want to say that we shall partner with you people to ensure that we move collectively as one house. And just like in our symbol, the broom, I want to believe that you require and will require everyone of us support. Please, as you aggregate the various problems, give us a very good enabling environment. Our doors are wide open to you. You are always welcome. Dialogue solves matter. Not the other way. I believe in that dialogue will always be through with our own issues.
Bank executives who make up Nigeria's Humanitarian Fund private sector initiative recently came together to show solidarity with displaced communities affected by the ongoing crisis in Borno State. They toured camps for internally displaced persons in Maiduguri to assess the situation there. 14 of Nigeria's leading companies formed the initiative in November 2018 to pool resources and support those in desperate need of aid.
Humanitarian crisis in northeast Nigeria, now entering its 10th year, is one of the most severe in the world. The ongoing crisis, triggered by regionalized armed conflict, has led to widespread forced displacement. 1.8 million Nigerians, predominantly women and children, are internally displaced, and 6.2 million people are in need of urgent assistance. As part of the Nigerian Humanitarian Fund Private Sector Initiative, companies and banks reiterated their commitment to this platform, emphasizing the need for Nigerians to take ownership of the crisis.
I'm looking at the children and I see the problems of the future, because if they don't get what they really need in terms of education, healthcare support, and a stable family life, then we're going to have other problems to deal with in future. And it just shows why it's a national problem.
Mrs. Awashika led a delegation that included Biyo Lagbami, Executive Director of EcoBank, Kiara Buka, co-chair of the Nigerian Humanitarian Fund Private Sector Initiative Steering Group, and Olumide Akpata, senior partner of Templars Law Firm, many of whom visited camps for internally displaced people in Borno State for the very first time. The NHF PSI is a groundbreaking global initiative created in Nigeria and managed by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs on behalf of the UN Humanitarian Coordinator. The initiative is expected to see Nigerian companies join donor countries in pulling donations and resources together. The platform will help collaboration to identify innovative solutions and generate resources for a more effective response.
So out of these three, this is the type of partnership I'm looking forward to. I bring the United Nations, I bring the private sector to interface with the government and NEDC when they get operational here, so that we can all come together, pull our various synergies and strengths, so that we can address.
To date, the Nigerian Humanitarian Fund has raised $90 million in contributions and pledges with support from 17 donor countries. Business leaders involved in the initiative aspire to raise $80 million towards the humanitarian response. The UN agency says the unique collaboration introduces an unprecedented opportunity for Nigerian businesses to lead the way in bringing Nigerians together for Nigeria.
When the news at 10 returns, foremost non-interest lender Jaiz Bank reports 55% increase in profit after tax for 2018 as the company holds its 7th annual general meeting. That's some business news. Do join us again.